The Five Khandha. As you may already know, the five aggregates, khandha, are rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, and vijnana. The Buddha proclaimed that attachment to the aggregates, upadana khandha, is the cause of suffering. Suffering results from clinging to the notion of a self, from expecting the five aggregates to exist according to your preferences, and from the wrong view that the five aggregates are actually the self. These wrong views, micca-titi, have persisted until the present. Those who do not understand this will continue to cling to the self. This wrong view will consequently give rise to distress and suffering. The five aggregates are separated into two categories, namely the tangible form aggregate, rupa khandha, and the intangible aggregate, nama khandha. The tangible form aggregate is comprised of the earth, water, wind, and fire elements. The intangible form aggregate is comprised of vedana, sanya, sankhara, and vijnana. In order for the intangible aggregates to operate, there must be the tangible form aggregate. Without the intangible aggregates, the tangible aggregate would not exist. Thus, the tangible form aggregate and intangible aggregates are mutually dependent upon each other. Once the tangible form aggregate senses something, the intangible aggregate will collect information. If the intangible aggregate is operating, the tangible form aggregate is the object for that work. While you are still alive and breathing, both rupa and nama must work together. Whenever the pair separates, that is referred to as death. This is likened to building a house for temporary usage. After a time, the house will deteriorate. Similarly, when the time arrives, rupa and nama must separate from each other. Guidelines for Dhamma practice at the rupa khandha and nama khandha level are taught by many instructors. For the most part, they teach sitting meditation, samadhi. They do not teach techniques for insight development, vipassana. If you practice the Dhamma without knowledge of the various stages, it makes it difficult to produce results. The steps related to Dhamma practice in order to attain levels of enlightenment as Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and arahant differ in depth and detail. Defilements and desires are eradicated in both coarse and refined levels corresponding to the stage of practice. This is similar to how someone who has completed the primary level of Dhamma studies is unable to answer a question of the advanced level of Dhamma studies, or how someone who has only been educated up to the advanced level of Dhamma studies is unable to answer questions at the Bali scholar level. Likewise, training in the Dhamma will be simpler and less complicated if it follows the delineated processes. However, most Dhamma practitioners follow random guidelines that do not match up and consequently do not understand the Dhamma. The majority of Dhamma that is practiced nowadays is derived from the level of the arahant. Who knows whether or not you have sufficient perfections of character, bharami, to achieve arahantship in this lifetime? If your bharami is lacking, then your practice will not yield any results. If you have cultivated enough bharami to attain enlightenment as a sotapanna, and your methods of practice correspond to that level of attainment, then you will have a high chance of attaining sotapanna. Once you have attained sotapanna, the subsequent stages of Dhamma attainment will not be difficult. This is because you have already opened the door with your sotapanna attainment. You have entered the stream of enlightenment, nibbāna. As for the question of whether or not those who become holy ones, Arya-Pukala, will know what Dhamma level they have attained, the answer is that they will know for themselves. There is no need to seek confirmation from others. Even if the Buddha were sitting right there in front of them, they would not ask because they already know. Those who become Arya-Pukalas in the Buddha's era, as well as in the present era, know themselves well. They do not doubt themselves any longer. Anyone who achieves a Dhamma stage dispels doubts about that Dhamma stage. It is unnecessary to check against texts and scriptures for confirmation of right or wrong. It is pacatang, individually known. There is no need to obtain a declaration by a karana from anyone else. Further, there is no need to boast or inform others of it. They will live normally, just like others. However they used to be, that is how they will continue to be. Their nature or personality doesn't change. If you have any questions concerning this text and have the time to ask me directly, I am always ready to elaborate on every matter. If you ask others, Their answer might not be aligned with my meaning. However, you may find your own answers from reading this book. May you all have strong mindfulness and wisdom, and may you clearly understand and truly realize the Sacha Dhamma in accordance with the barami that you have cultivated. Ācariya Thoon Khippapañño.